everyone, welcome back to another gigantic haul of stuff from another morning at the Goodwill bargain bins. Unbelievable, just a lot to go through. Before we get through that, I just wanted to grab from the yesterday morning. I went out just to a random yard sale, moving sale, and for about $4 got a small stack of DVDs, and we'll get into all of the insanity that was this morning. An HBO special with Richard Jeni, The Juror, Helena from The Wedding, another one of these 4-movie marathon packs. These are always great to just be able to ship very cheaply, one DVD set, but a collection of movies, so a little more value for the customer that way. Widescreen edition of Freeway, the first Insidious, Grandma's Boy, Joshua, The Cable Guy, The Other Woman, first one of these Wrong Turn movies with Faith from Buffy, P2, Twilight Zone the movie, Double Jeopardy, then we have The Strangers and Awake. So it's just a quick little stop to see what was going on. And then this morning, go through the mountain of DVDs. Today was incredible. A bunch of VHS books, whatever. So hang tight if you like this kind of stuff. This is probably going to be a long one. One Blu-ray randomly, usually it's a mix, but this was just the one Blu-ray they had there, Apollo 18. Otherwise, it was mostly DVDs. A Chuck Norris American Hero collection. Ugh. If you're into action B-movies, your Canon film stuff, this is definitely going to be for you. It has the Delta Force 2, Missing in Action 2, and Missing in Action 3. So, collection there. The Disney's Mulan, the live-action one. I'm going to have to watch this. Amanda watched it, I think like the year it came out, or whenever it became Disney Plus, but I still have not checked that out. I'm going to have to watch that one. And then we have How Gun Will Travel, the complete 3rd season, some box set stuff. An interesting collection. We have Jocks, My Tutor, Coach, and Cave Girl. I've seen all of these except Cave Girl. I'm kind of curious. It could be just like a cheesy 80s B-movie thing. I'll watch that. This collection, I've sold this exact same collection before. Brand new, sealed again. 15 movies. It's a combination of Steven Seagal on one set, and on the other set, Chuck Norris. So that was worth grabbing for the roughly, again, the amount of weight is pretty consistent, roughly 5 cents a piece for a lot of these DVDs. So the Carol Burnett Show, the collector's edition of Carol's Favorites, a multi-disc set. And we have Enchanted, that's a fun one. The Nutcracker and the Four Realms, one of these Disney sing-alongs, the Disney Princess Enchanted Tea Party, The Magic of Belle Isle, Anthony Hopkins in Nixon. This is a pretty interesting cover from the BBC, The Snow Queen. The Children's March. Some historical stuff in here as well. Indecent Proposal. And a handful of them are, like that, sealed. A bunch of them are sealed as well. Just Getting Started. Katie Holmes in First Daughter. One of my favorite Robin Williams performances. We have 1 Hour Photo. He's so good. He's normally this like lovable kind of father figure type character, but man, is he creepy in that movie. Bridge Contract. There's a lot of these B movies in here, and a lot of them I looked through to make sure. There were a few that were definitely like DVD-Rs and stuff that I tossed back, but the bunch of pressed ones, so I grabbed those. Pacific Light. Lights Out. Rebound. I have no idea. This Danny Glover movie, never heard of this one. Bofra? I have no idea. Never heard of that one. So let me know if you know what that is and if it's any good. The Soloist, because as always, if it's something that seems kind of interesting, I leave it in a watch pile and we check it out, and then it goes up in the store later on. This box set of Remembering 9/11. A 2-movie set of the How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2. Complete first season of Gilligan's Island. This is a great box set, and it is the newer one where the discs are single-sided, so it's the nicer release. It's good to have that for the store, Where the Wild Things Are. Flirting with 40. The Wedding Planner. The Players Club. Soul Good. American Flyers. Mr. Brooks. Another one of these comedy collections I like to grab. Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Along Came Polly, and Reality Bites. So it's a Ben Stiller collection. Then we have Black and Blue Legends of the Hip Hop Cop. I'm not exactly sure what this is, but it has a bunch of rappers. You know, 50 Cent, Ice-T, Damian Dash. So I'll have to figure out exactly what that even is, and then go ahead and list that. Then we have Dog. Guillermo del Toro presents The Orphanage. Amanda might want to watch that, so I'm going to have to leave that one to the side. She really likes del Toro. And then we have Ice-T and Rutger Hauer and Gary Busey. That's a weird cast in Surviving the Game. The Last Man is a good 80s movie. The Golden Child. I always thought this was an underrated Eddie Murphy 80s movie. You don't hear people talk about that as much as, you know, stuff like Beverly Hills Cop or Trading Places. Safe House. Knowing. Nicolas Cage. Two different and both sealed versions of Dirty Dancing. So that was just a kind of an oddball find to find two that were sealed but different editions. Laughs from the Hood, Volume 2. Then we have Paul Mooney's Analyzing White America. Paul Mooney is usually pretty funny. Lake Placid and Lake Placid 2, as well as Dean Cain in Boa. Some cheesy, like Sci-Fi Channel type horror movies. Predator 2. I've never seen this exact cover art before. It's kind of interesting. There's a lot of different cover variations, but I've never ran across that one. We have Winnie the Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie. Boys Don't Cry. High Frequency, where comedy is in heavy rotation. So it looks like some more stand-up comedy type stuff. This is an interesting little set. It is the Amor Real. So it's a romance collection. And I have to look, what's the region set on this? Because it's definitely not a US release, but so check that one out. Just kind of an odd one that I found mixed in with some romance books, a little DVD set. Tarzan and the Lost City. The Bounty Hunter. The Malevolent Queen. It's kind of an interesting look on the back, some creepy images. Jumping Jack Flash, Whoopi Goldberg. Virgil Bliss. Complete first season of Outlander. Duplicity. Interstellar. A Summer Place. Secret of the Wings. This is interesting, starring Eve Arden as a stepmother. So from All in the Family, Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater, and Jennifer Beals. So it'll appeal to a lot of Matthew Broderick, a lot of 80s kids. This was a great show. Shelley Duvall's Fairy Tale Theater. That was definitely an excellent program. X3, The Last Stand. Donovan's Reef. Another copy of The Last Stand. White Wolves collection. White Wolves, A Cry in the Wild 2. Never heard of this series of movies. Life is Beautiful. Some Max Fleischer Superman. The Family Man. Nanook, Wild Dog of the North. Kavik, the Wolf Dog. So someone maybe had a theme, probably came from one person. All You Need. Barbie in Fairytopia. Family Stone. Hacksaw Ridge. The Usual Suspects. 310 to Yuma. Lifeline. Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow. Escape from Planet Earth. Oh, I wish I could some days. Then we have Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood from PBS Kids. Daniel Visits the Farm. Fern Gully, classic from my childhood. American Pie. Spelling Bee. Open Season Scared Tales. It's weird, it should be Scary Tales. The Scared Tales just doesn't roll off the tongue very well. Heaven's Door. Anchorman. Match Point. And from the Smithsonian Channel, 9/11, Day That Changed the World. And we found 3 DVDs that'll probably be for our own collection, and one I'm surprised. We have, and I've watched a bunch of times, the Jim Henson The Storyteller series, which is a very interesting very live action fairy tale, Jim Henson Productions. Great. I never knew they did another one with Greek myths. I've never seen it, never heard of it before. Like, I had a collection that has a whole bunch of them and doesn't include these. I didn't know they had a separate set of Jim Henson's The Storyteller Greek myths. So that's interesting, because those are really well done. And I want to rewatch this because I just wasn't maybe in the right mood, wasn't quite into it, but I know my wife and her dad both really liked it. We share a lot of sci-fi alike, so I want to rewatch it, and maybe Amanda will want this as well. But Lost in Space, the complete first season, that newer Lost in Space from, I think it was Netflix. But yeah, I want to rewatch it, because pretty good from what I remember, but again, I just feel like I wasn't quite as into it. Maybe I was kind of doing other stuff while watching it, so I want to check that out, and Amanda might want that anyway. And I have one trade out for one of my editions of a season of a show I'm going to sell on, because this is really cool. Northern Exposure, the complete first season, but it has the parka, which was only when they very first were coming out on DVD, and then later editions didn't have the parka. So it has the parka with the moose on the front as a zipper. So otherwise, inside it's exactly the same like season 1 set that I have, but I'll go ahead and sell mine and keep this edition, because that is really, really cool. Just very fitting for the setting of the show. Excellent little find. Moving on to VHS, we have a sealed collector's edition, volume 1 of Woody Woodpecker. One of the greatest comedies of all time. It Happened One Night, with that classic cover that was released on the beta and VHS and the first Laserdisc releases. Just that classic cover, great classic comedy. It started with a kiss, and then some stuff that I'm going to make a kind of a giant lot for someone who's really into westerns, because I have a decent selection of westerns, some classic movies, and some classic western themed TV show stuff. So a nice set of western stuff. We have The Lone Ranger, The Lost Episodes, Kansas Pacific, The Shadow Riders, Rio Concheros, Enter the Lone Ranger, They Died with Their Boots On, The Legend of the Lone Ranger, The Quick and the Dead, Magnificent Seven, The Wild West, Volume 2, the original TV series, 100 Rifles. Then we have with Jane Russell, Paleface and Son of Paleface, as well as Westworld, the original movie with Yul Brynner. One video game find, and then some music things. I'm pretty sure I actually just sold a copy of this, but Lego Marvel Superheroes, so grab that. A few cassettes. We have some Enya and Kitaro. On CD, we have the magical music of Disney, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. Rod Stewart, Stardust. One PC find, I forgot to grab this, the Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds collection. Some Alice in Chains, Streisand collection, and then on vinyl we also have Barbra Streisand, One Voice. And Donna Summer, Live and More, which has a cool gatefold, but it's not like the side gatefold, it's a fold-up gatefold. Interesting. Where the cover is designed. Linda Ronstadt. And LTD, Togetherness. One oddball find before we get into the books, just have to clean this off a little bit, but an old camcorder at RCA Auto Shot, a SteadyPix, and it's complete with all the hookups, everything, and paid less than $1 for it, so that's just kind of one of those kind of cool classic things. And I grabbed some books, but they were kind of on the disappointing end. They're more of a big lot to boost numbers in the book category, not really a whole lot of money for them, but a couple other interesting ones, and it was literally $5 for the entire bag, so I was like, that's worth it for me when it's $5 for the whole bag. So we grabbed a big stack of this Jane Castle, so grabbed a bunch of those. That'll be one collection. for that author. The kind of stuff, again, that if they even at like 25 cents a piece, I wouldn't pick up these authors, but for $5 for all of it, I was like, all right. A ton of Shannon Drake, just two big stacks, all in really decent condition, so they're probably going to be just kind of one big lot for someone who wants that author. Then a few individual ones. We have the Portable Conrad collection, the autobiography of Miss Jane Pittman. This will be a Penga one for sure. Sylvia Day, Carnal Thirst from the Dark Kisses collection. Then we have 101 Dark Nights, When Irish Eyes Are Haunting. And one random little golden book, Bugs Bunny Marooned. So that is a ton of stuff, and that's it for this video, but that's actually not everything that I got today, because I found in this one just bin, it was all there. It was definitely from either a store or some crazy collection or whatever. A ton of stuff is linked by one theme, so I'm just going to give it its own video coming up next.